begin again. So,
Greetings, everyone. This is Payman Lorenzo, your host, your friend, your coach. Today, we're kicking off the day 3 of the October class for the 5-day podcast lead challenge for Europe and UK. And today, we have a great one. Amazing people starting on a good note. It's morning for me here, 8 o'clock, and smiling and laughing with amazing friends here. And before we start the content and all that, Janine, you asked an amazing question. Would you mind repeating the question? Because I didn't want to lose that.
okay. Well, I didn't say the question, so I don't have to repeat it. But I will. So lately, this all relates to I'm feeling a bit of information overwhelmed because we get so much. Everyone sends us emails and messages and everything. And there's been a lot coming my way about webinars. We need to have webinars to promote ourselves as a thought leader and, to promote our business and to get clients and things like that. And so I'm, because I'm doing a podcasting course with Payment, I am thinking, I can't, I'm just me on my own. I can't do both at once. I can't start off doing both at once. I've got to start with one. And I'm like, which way should I go? Webinars or podcasts? Which should I do first? Because I'm sure both of them are great.
Yes. Great question. What I want to tackle first, webinars. Webinars are incredibly powerful when done the right way, especially if you have either one of these two things, either an existing massive responsive audience, or you have a lot of money to burn. Sorry, not this finger. You have a lot of money to put for ads. So if you have one of these two, webinars are amazing. If you don't have those two, what I found out that completely changed my business from struggling to get consistent clients to now having a reliable system that brings in not only clients, but clients that are dream to work with. And that has been running my own 5-day challenges. Because again, on a webinar, you get 90 days, not 90 days, 60 to 90 minutes to convey a message and to build trust with the audience. And at the end, you make a sale. At least you make an offer. Or it's a big task, especially if someone doesn't know you. And if you don't have an existing audience and people are brand new, they don't know you. But a 5-day challenge, over the course of 5 days, you give the person opportunity to get to know you, build trust, build rapport. And at the end of 5 days, it's much more likely for them to feel to take the next step to invest in themselves in the business. Because again, remember what I said at the very beginning of the on day 1, that business, especially high ticket selling, is about one thing and one thing only: trust. It's much more. You will, for example, I had people, and I did ask that in the last class in the UK, inside the academy. I said, guys, there was one student. He was also torn between doing a 5-day challenge or a webinar. I said, listen, would you have joined my program if I had done just a 60 or 90-minute webinar? He said, no. I said, would you have joined my program after the end of the 5-day challenge? He said, yes. I said, why? It's because of the 5 days I had a chance to really see you, get to know you, build trust, build rapport, and so on and so forth. So what I will tell you, webinars are very powerful, yes, but to make webinars work, you need two things. One of these two things, ideally two. Either a large existing responsive audience and or a lot of money for ads. If you don't have these two, I would say webinars, there's a better alternative, and that is running your own 5-day challenge, just like the one you're taking right now. Of this course of this 5 days, you get to know the person, know their story, build rapport, build trust with them, see what they're capable of, get a taste of what it's like working with them. So that's why a 5-day challenge has been a game changer for me. And again, teaching you how to run a 5-day challenge is beyond the scope of what we're doing here. There's already a lot of information that I'm sharing. I don't want to overwhelm you guys. But what I can tell you, I can connect you to the person that helped me run my 5-day challenge, and that person can help you. And just look at what I've done. 5 days. Each day you talk about a specific part of whatever you're teaching. make them aware that what is the problem, why the problem is here, what's going to happen if they don't take any action, and what's the solution. The solution is your offer, and make them believe that they can do it. Give them a small win. That's why a 5-day challenge is incredibly powerful, even if you have no audience. Like when I started, I had no audience. Does that make sense, Janine?
Yeah, it does. Although I'd be careful if I was you about saying you have to have a big audience or lots of money for ads, because I just did a webinar last night with
Mm,
someone who is saying absolutely you don't.
okay.
Um, and giving ways of
Mm,
getting people onto the webinar
mhm.
without without having either of those two things.
Sure,
So I think with anything that you want to promote and get people on, there's just certain ways of promoting it.
sure.
Um, that if you don't have a big email list and you don't have a large following online,
Mhm.
there's, I guess, what he was saying is that it requires the more personal touch
Yes,
of actually, emailing or messaging people and giving them that who might also be influencers and inviting them specifically and
that's it.
personally.
And this is what I've been doing. Instead of me, for example, I've been messaging the people that I've got to know over the last 4 years on my podcast to attend the challenge. And also, I've done a lot of partnerships, collaboration with people with existing audiences. Because if someone refers you someone, they're much more likely and open to
Mm,
trust you than if it was someone cold.
yeah.
That's on that topic. Another very important point you raised, and that is the shiny syndrome object. I will share with you something. One of I heard on a podcast a while ago, and this is from one of the co-founders of Lead Pages. Have you guys heard of Lead Pages?
Yeah.
It's a multi-billion-dollar company. Basically, it's a platform that allows you to build landing pages. So one of the co-founders went on the podcast, and he was asked, "What was the number one reason that allowed you to become such a successful company?" He said the rules of the 5-1 or 6-1s. I forgot which is 5 or 6, and that is one business, one offer, one client, one platform, one traffic source, 1 year. That's it. Meaning you don't offer multiple packages. You don't try to help many people. And this is what I've been emphasizing since day one. Clarity, 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 clarity. And today we're gonna go even deeper into that. The more specific you are, the more magnetic your message will be. So don't try to be on multiple platforms. Identify where is your ideal audience and then double down on that platform. For me, so far it's been mostly on Facebook. So that's why I'm mostly on Facebook groups. Now I'm slowly expanding into LinkedIn, but one at a time. Don't try to be at the same time on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and so on and so forth, because you're gonna spread yourself so thin, especially if you're just starting out in just a one man or one woman business. If you have a team, that's a different story. What's that?
Who's got background info? Noise.
Okay. Is it for you? No. Okay. So again, we're all getting messages about, oh, try this. I'm being approached all the time with people that I know and people that I don't know. Oh, check this out. I really want you to check this out. This is going to really help you. My by default answer right now, nowadays is thank you very much. I'm honored, but it doesn't align with where I'm going, what I'm doing, because my focus is my business. The number one thing that is preventing most people, if not everyone, from succeeding is because they lack focus. They're trying to juggle multiple business at the same time. Unless you're Elon Musk, but even Elon Musk has a massive team now. So if you're just starting out, or even if you're a successful entrepreneur, focus on one business at a time. One. Again, Focus, focus, focus. One business. Don't try to, so to speak, juggle two plates or cook two things at the same time. So you mentioned that you're getting a lot of emails. It's good. It's good to know what's going on, but do not get distracted. Another thing that my coach always says is focus on your MMAs, money making activities. If something is making you money right now, focus on it. If it's not making money on it, put it on the shelf or outsource it. This is
But
what my coach always emphasizes on. Focus, focus, focus. Because the last thing you want is to be distracted by other shiny objects and stuff. And I find myself guilty of that at times still when I see videos on YouTube of guys making a ton of money using AI or whatever. Yes, it's very tempting, but I don't want my energy to be spread across multiple things. What works for me, what has worked for me is this, is helping people, doing my 5-day challenges, my academy, even my books. They've been a steady stream of income, but because they take away from my main activity, I've put my books on the shelf. Focus on what makes you money. Focus and go all in, just like a mule was with a bind around you. Until the first year, until you get to a stable position that you can then either hire a team, well, yeah, hire someone to handle other parts, to expand into other avenues. Like right now, I'm looking to hire a team to help me expand into LinkedIn because I understand the tremendous power of LinkedIn. But again, it's been 3 years that I'm doing this, and only now I'm starting to look into LinkedIn. So focus, focus, focus. Do not please get distracted, because the more you get this, one of the reasons I was holding me back all these years from succeeding was because I was trying to do too many things. I was getting derailed all the time. Oh, let's try real estate. Let's try crypto. Let's try affiliate marketing. Let's try MLM. Let's try this. And before you know it, you're not going anywhere. So that's my take on that. To all of us, even as a reminder for myself, because I still get, just like you, emails on my YouTube feeds, videos about people making money on all kinds of stuff. And people that I know always messaging me, hey, check this. Oh, this would be amazing for you. And now my default answer is thank you very much. I'm honored, but this doesn't align with where I am right now, where I'm going. Be firm, but very polite.
yeah, it's interesting what you say, but what I'm looking at are not actually distractions. I mean, they are alternative. Well, the three things, and it's podcasting, webinars, speaking. Now, obviously, all related because they're all related to speaking in public, and they will be and need to be all part of my promotional strategy. So I'm sort of looking at them. At the moment, I'm saying I'm sort of putting the professional speaking one on the back burner just for the moment, because I think that that's going to take a lot more more promotional activity. But at the same time, if an opportunity for speaking or improving my
Absolutely.
speaking comes up, you know, I'm going to jump on it for
Yeah.
sure.
It's like I did
So,
for my TED Talk.
yeah, exactly. So it's yeah, so it's not a matter of being distracted, and I'm not
Mm.
going after different silver objects. It's just working out what is the best thing for me to focus on right now. And
Okay.
that's where my decision making is.
Yeah. What I can tell you is, as we all know, and I've mentioned that many times, business is all about relationship nurturing process. It's about trust, especially if you're selling a high ticket offer over $1,000, pounds, or euro. It's about one thing and one thing only: trust. The question I will ask you and everyone is, what is the thing that's going to allow you to build that trust the fastest and the most effective? From my personal experience and experience of my over 100 clients, and people I know is this. Because again, it's all about building trust, building rapport. And once you build that trust, it opens the door to all the other things. For example, podcasting opened the door for me to publishing, to first of all, to having an academy, having a business, then to publishing, then to public speaking. They all came as a result of this because of relationships I've been building over the last 4 years, the trust, the rapport, and all that. That's my take on it. That's a beautiful conversation that is beyond the scope of what we're doing here. So let's jump in straight into today's lesson. But I love what you said, because this is something that we all face, we all struggle. That's a very powerful question. Not sorry, question point. So thank you for bringing that up. Let me fire up the content. Okay, share my screen. Okay, let me also, wait, why can I not stream it? All right, okay, 1 second. Let me stop the share. Stop. Give me 1 second. I'm going to live stream this on Facebook, and then we can start. Should have done that from the beginning. Anyways, never mind. Day 3, 5-day podcast leads challenge, October 2024, UK Europe class. Whoops. Okay, perfect. We're going live, and I can record. It's recording. Let me start sharing. Is this the right one? Do you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Let me start the presentation. All right. So welcome for day 3. Before we start, any questions about anything pertaining to day 2 or even day 1? Before we move into today's content. Yesterday, we talked about the benefits of podcasting for both you as a person and also for your business. You guys remember that?
Yes. I have a little bit of a niggling thought about it. It feels kind of like opposites. Like you're supposed to only focus on them, you're supposed to make them shine, and you're supposed to set yourself as the trustworthy guru expert of your field. So it just kind of felt like two conflicting things there.
That's a great question. So what I do when I get someone on my podcast, my job is to make them shine. It's not about me. It's about them. They are the stars. I'm just the host. That's why they're in the podcast. And by doing this, it's going to allow me to build that trust, that rapport with them, for them to open up to really. And then when I ask them if they're a good fit, they will ask you, guaranteed, before, during, after the call. So what about you, Caddy? What do you do? And when you tell them, oh, that's exactly what I'm doing. That's exactly what I need, because we're gonna only be inviting our prospects to the podcast, not random people. And your prospect, when you tell them what you do, and because you build that trust with them, they will open up to you, and they'll say, wow, that's exactly what I need. Can you help me? And then you take that into another call, or even at the same call, where you can talk and see how you can help them with your business. You can then providing some feedback, some coaching, and show them and tell them about what you have to offer. So the main point is for you, by making them shine, by making it about them, to get to know them and for them to know you, to build that trust, that rapport, so they can open up to you. And once they open up to you, that's when the doors open. That's when everything opens and the magic happens. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you. Great question. Any other questions about day 2? Janine? Mal?
No.
Gifty?
No, I'm okay. Thanks.
Very welcome. Vicky? Am I forgetting anyone? I just want to make sure everybody has the questions covered. All right, cool. Then let's jump in. So today we're going to take a look into getting leads and high-ticket clients and make money with your own podcast. Who wants to get leads on demand and high-ticket clients without spamming, even if you have no audience, so that you can make money through your own profitable podcast? Raise your hand. You don't want Mal? Okay, there you go. All right, let's start. In order to do that, we need to understand what is the number one reason why most coaches, entrepreneurs, online struggle to get any traction, any leads and clients for their business. And that is because they lack clarity. They want to help everyone with all of issues. Oh, let me help you with the finances, your fitness, your relationships, your kitchen, your garden, your garage, and everything else under the sun. That's beautiful, but that's something only God can do. Instead, what we need to do is to help one very specific person. Please mute yourself. If you where is this coming from? Is somebody? Hi. Okay, so yeah, so instead we need to focus on one very specific pain point for one very specific person, so that we can have crystal clear, laser focus, clarity on what it is we want and through, and that's what we're going to be doing basically today. And so how do we fix that? We fix that by identifying what is your true zone of genius and your true gifts. Because we're going to be building your offer, crafting your message and your business, and ultimately your podcast around your zone of genius. So all you have to do is just share your story, speak from the heart. That's what we're going to be doing. And there's other ways also to identify your zone of genius, but that is the most powerful and the most common way for most people. Now, my 4-step approach to a profitable podcast in business. Number 1 is to identify your zone of genius and your true gifts. This is what we're going to be doing today. That's going to allow us to have clarity on the number 1 pain point that you're addressing and solving through your offer, your business, and ultimately your podcast. And then once we have that clarity as to what is your zone of genius and the pain point, that's going to automatically lead us to identifying and having a laser focused clarity on your avatar, the person you can help at the highest level and the most. And the more specific, the better. We're going to do all of that today. And then once we've done that, we're going to identify, it's going to become very obvious as to where is that person hanging out the most, and simply inviting them onto your podcast. So as you see, everything flows. There's no guesswork. Number 1, what is your zone of genius? Number 2, what is the pain point you're solving and addressing? Number 3, for who? And number 4, what is that person hanging out? Very simple and extremely effective. Do you guys see that? Does that make sense for you? Okay. So now let's take a few minutes to brainstorm on that. Now, here's my approach to identifying your zone of genius and your gift. There's 4 ways to do that. The first one is to look at your professional background. Let's say you spent 10 years, 20 years in whatever field, accounting, medicine, legal, therapy, whatever. That's the first obvious place to start, because you understand that industry, you speak the language, you know intimately what is the pain point of the person that you're helping. Very straightforward. Number 2, the second way is if you have any high income skills, such as, say, for example, copywriting, closing, negotiations, or anything that people have been paying you a lot of money to do, a skill that you've acquired over the course of the years. That's a great place to start. There's a lot of people that are just using, for example, after working for 10, 20 years in whatever field, then they go on and they start their business doing the same thing. The third one is if you have any natural, God-given inner talent. Some people are amazing with numbers, some people with words, some people with memory, some people with playing a musical instrument, some people with acting, some people with sports. There's a lot of people who have been building very, very successful businesses, teaching others to play the guitar, play piano, improve their memory, and so on and so forth, or improve the golf shot, the tennis shot, or whatever, or play better football, whatever. There's a lot of people that are building and have been building very successful businesses that way. The fourth and last one, and that is the most common, and that is to look at any major life challenges that you yourself have overcome, whether it's financial challenges, heartbreak, tragedy, disease, abuse, trauma, betrayal, whatever. And this is why I always say your crap is your gold, because nothing happens to you but for you. Whatever major life-changing or life-altering challenge that you've successfully overcome yourself, the other people that are going through them right now and are desperately looking for someone like you who've been in their shoes, who've successfully overcome that. So these are the 4 ways that we can identify your zone of genius. So looking at these 4 ways, which one do you think applies the most to you? Let's hear each of you guys. Who wants to go first? Is it your professional background? Do you have any high income skill? Is it a special talent that you have been born with? Or is it a major life challenge that you've overcome?
I'll go.
Go ahead.
It's really a combination, because I think, once you work out what's going on in your life, or what's gone on in your life, you work out that it all comes together.
Yes.
Which is fantastic. So sure, it's my professional experiences and background, not specifically, because that's in IT and sales, marketing, and training, and corporate training. The high income skill I may have, I haven't been earning what I should be earning for too long. I'm not going to go there. Special talents I have is coaching and the relationships I can build with people. And the major challenges that I have in my journey have been they've been significant, and what they've proved is that I can break through the challenges. I've had to break through my own inner barriers to succeed, and I have enormous amounts of resilience.
Amazing.
So that is what my focus is, coaching women on professional women, because that was my background.
Yes.
To break through their inner barriers, to fulfill their potential and their desires in their life.
Absolutely. Love that. Love that. Your story, Janine, reminds me of another Australian lady I talked to like 2 years ago. She and her husband are based in Italy. And after chatting with her, it became obvious that for her, a great place to start would be to help expat women living in Europe to build a successful business, or to help them adapt to the life. She was Australian as well. Oh, sorry, not she is. She is Australian as well, lives in Torino in Italy. After talking to her, it became obvious that for her, building a business around helping expat women in Europe, adapt to the new life, or even build a business around themselves. That's for her.
Yeah, already done that. Got a group on Facebook called Expat Women in France with 20,000 women in it.
Beautiful.
Not my target market now. I haven't been able to get much in the way of sales out of it.
Yeah.
Spent 30,000 building a paid membership community platform, because I built it 3 times. That was a disaster story. Another one of my resilient stories.
Yeah.
And couldn't get people to join it. So yeah, I've been down that path. I've tried that.
Awesome.
It was my vision that I came over to France with.
Beautiful.
Unfortunately, It's not turned out to be my path forward.
We are here to uncover that. Thank you for sharing that. Gonna come back to you in a moment. I'm gonna go from left to right. Caddy, which one of these four applies to you?
The thing that I think sticks out to me the most is the special talent and the high income skills. A special talent is something that is so easy. It's so natural to who I am. It's just ability to make people. I'm really easy to talk to.
Okay.
Whether in the coaching world or in the podcasting, it's like people feel really safe to share and feel really warmed and charmed by me. And I guess the word charm has a bit of a bad connotation to it, but it's just, I just love people and it just shines through. And my high income skills is video editing and being able to help people with their blocks. And so the thing that I'm the fuzziest in is that whole avatar of my person, because it's my background, my professional experiences and background is with theater acting. I don't have much to do with that world anymore. So I think probably the background professional experience now that's the most fitting to me is being a mom.
Yes, that's an amazing one. Yes.
Yeah. A few people relate to that one.
Yeah. What came to mind was what I was listening to was, and again, I'm not saying you should do that, but just sharing and speaking out loud, becoming the go-to person for women when it comes to video editing. Even more so for moms, for mompreneurs, because you are the avatar. You're a mom, you're an entrepreneur, and you're the best person to help them because you are exactly who you're targeting. Does that make sense?
Yes. I don't feel a lot of passion towards that. I'm much more curious about spiritual journeys and inner blocks and stuff. So I'm not like, I don't want to teach editing. It's boring. I want to do something interesting and
you could teach women how to attain the spiritual awakening through video, and you can help them do the video editing, for example. To sharing the stories on videos on, you can create videos to highlight the story, to make them shine brighter than shining.
I actually have a YouTube channel on that. It's clear. It's the YouTubing with Katie, and I have so many videos about helping people with inspiration for their making videos.
So when you say making videos, are you able to also create like mini movies for them? Create like a video about their life, about to really make them shine. Really,
I can do that. Yeah.
That's gold mine, because I know a guy in my network, and I have a coach, and one of the person that I'm the coach here in Toronto as well. He's a very successful filmmaker. I had a chat with him to do a documentary on something I was looking for, and his starting fee is $150,000. I'm not joking. So that's something you can charge a decent amount, even starting out, $5,000-$10,000 to help those women to bring their gift, their message to the world through video.
Oh yeah, that definitely resonates, and that is something that I'm trying to do with my Clearing the Creative podcast too.
So again, I'm doing this right now with you and with all of us to get your creative juices flowing, to get you going the right track. Because sometimes we need an unbiased pair of eyes to tell us, oh, wow, this is your gift. Yeah. Because we take for granted our gifts. For us, it's nothing special. They're second nature. So that's something that I want you to marinate on that. Really think about that. To see what you can come up with. And we can further explore that over the course of this week, and even after, if you want, on a one-on-one call. Cool. Awesome. Thank you. Mal, for you, it's pretty obvious because you have an amazing skill. You have all the foundation, all that. So share it with the rest of us that don't know you. And in a short amount of time.
My professional experience for the last 25 to 30 years, I've been helping women who have been experienced trauma in the childhood, and I have helped 3,500 female clients over these 25 years. And now I started the School of Healing and Awakening, Tantric Journey School of Healing and Awakening in 2016. So now what I'm doing is I'm teaching what I have been doing for the last so many years to other people all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm really looking for is my special talents are healing and helping clients to come out of trauma and healing them and empowering them so that they can reach their highest potential with whatever they do in life. So my major challenge is really to overcome is I want more students and I want to set up schools all over Europe and all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
I'm teaching online, also on site in London, and I want to expand my work through opening up school and through franchising. So this is what
Beautiful.
I'm trying to. I've never done any marketing before, or any marketing that have been done has failed because all my 50% of my clients come from word of mouth and 50% come from my website. Any money that I spent on expensive marketing didn't bring any results. So I stopped all marketing. So
Mm-hmm.
now I'm trying to find other ways of sending my message out to the media so that I can get more students and more, connections with people.
Beautiful. I love that. For you, it's going to be pretty straightforward because you know exactly what you're doing. You have the foundation and all that. And we can have a talk after to go over that. But for you, it would be what I would recommend also. I know you already have a very successful and big YouTube channel, over 100,000 subscribers. Some of your videos have over 100 million views. I know that. Just turning the switch to monetize that platform into clients, into students, into money. And for that, for you would be do a little tweak on your podcast so you can interview your current students, past students, interview experts and you feel to provide further value and the world of overcoming trauma and all that, so that can further elevate you. You're already seen as an expert in your field, but as in further elevates you. And then through that, you can get access to people that may be interested in not only becoming your students, but opening their own franchises. And again, you can do that much faster by connecting to them through your podcast, building that trust, seeing your work. For you, the podcast is going to be an amazing shortcut to building that trust, because we already have all the social proof and all that through your YouTube channel, your extensive professional background and work. Your results speak for themselves. You said 3,500 very satisfied female clients. So you have everything, just a little tweak here and there. We'll have a call together to talk about that. And for you, it's very straightforward. So I'm very happy.
Can I pop in real quick?
Please.
Okay, so a podcast doesn't need to be 3 hours and 76 minutes.
Oh no.
You can literally like slide in 15 minutes with someone and then you
Yes.
can ship it off to me to edit.
That's it. Hey, there's a podcast. Have you guys heard of Frank Kern? He's one of the most successful marketing legend, one of the first guys that did a $1 million launch in 24 hours back in 2005 or 6. This podcast is literally 3 to 5 minutes each day. 3 to 5 minutes. So podcast length can be anytime, but the length is not an issue. It can be 3 minutes, can be 10 minutes, 15, 20, 30, 60, and all the way to 3-4 hours like Joe Rogan, for example. And of course, that could be an amazing thing. You know, you can become an editor. You can edit podcasts. For example, all of us can just record a podcast, send it to you. That could be a business right there. Does it make your creative juices flowing? Does it excite you? I can say yes by the smile you're having, you know? All right, thank you. Gifty. Let's hear which one of these will apply to you.
Sorry, I have to go in and come in because I'm still at work, and
So give us a short
forgive
answer.
me.
A short answer.
Yeah.
Which one of these would apply to you?
I think for me, as I've mentioned to you in the past, I'm a healthcare practitioner, still working. So I've been thinking of how to use my professional experiences in UK to help healthcare practitioners, and given the exposure to high, pressure working environment, and they being
Oh my God. Sorry to
can you
interrupt
hear
you,
me?
Gifty. Gifty, you know, an idea came to mind while we were
Uh-huh.
talking. You and Mal need to talk. Maybe you guys can collaborate together. Seriously, I'm not joking. I just saw that in my vision.
Okay.
I'll connect you
Okay.
guys after. I'll connect you guys after on WhatsApp. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, well, it's okay. Okay, thanks. So what I have over the few months before meeting payment, I did connect with Academy for Speaking to build my confidence. And so when one of them introduced me to payment, so I thought there will be a good way of making myself visible. I'm still working, but I'm thinking I can pack it and do something I enjoy, supporting staff to actually overcome the stress they are going through, as I did, the pressure, and enjoy the passion that they've signed for. Because very often they leave the professional register early and retire early and get stuck. And so that's where I am. And I'm still, but my main issue is the technical bit. It's not the not how to deal with the technical thing, because before this, I wasn't on any media, social media at all. And so it's been a bit of challenge, but I'm still hopeful to
Yes.
connect with many and getting directions and support slowly.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
that's where I am.
You're on the right track. We have a call together, me and you, on Monday morning. Monday morning for me, Monday afternoon for you. We're gonna talk further on that. I have a game plan for you, but as just getting on podcast, two things, two-prong approach for you. One, you already went to the academy, implement that, launch your podcast, and by launching your podcast, something magic will happen. It's going to allow you to gain confidence. For me, you know my story. I used to be incredibly shy, and podcasting is what allowed me to overcome that shyness. It's not going to be overnight, but it's going to be progressive. Give it time, 6 to 12 months, and 6 to 12 months, you will be a different person. The people that know you from now will say, wow, Gifty, what happened to you? You're no longer the shy little woman, now like a lioness. What happened to you? So get started. The sooner you start, the better. And at the same time, I want you to go on a podcast tour. Go on as many podcasts as you can. I will connect you to people who have even Facebook groups. We're always looking for guests. I will connect you to those. And also, as I mentioned, while you were talking, an idea popped, not an idea, a vision of you and Mal collaborating together, because you guys are complement each other very nicely. Trauma, healthcare, bam. I want you guys to get on a call together, the two of you, and brainstorm, see how you guys can co-create magic, can collaborate, refer clients to each other, and who knows, maybe build a business together. That's my vision. I saw it. Does it make sense? Are you guys open to that?
I think it's different pathway, but again, I love to connect with everyone to get some ideas and the rest.
Yes,
thank
you
you
guys
so
can
much.
connect. I will connect you two on WhatsApp after this call. So that's amazing. I'm
Thank
excited for you guys. Awesome.
you.
Before I go on to Vicky, just want to take that question. Janine on the chat, very nice question. Does a podcast always have to be an interview, or could it be just me talking on a topic? I guess like a webinar. This is where I see there being an overlap between the two and not really getting the line of difference between them. That's a great question. Your podcast can be anything you want it to be. It can be just you interviewing your prospect or experts. It can be you sharing your knowledge, providing tips, updates about your industry. It can be you and a co-host. It can be you on a round table. It can be all of the above. It's your podcast. It's your business. You call the shots. But ultimately, it's going to depend on what is it, the number one objective you want to achieve to your podcast. That's the first question I asked you at the start of the challenge on day one. What do you want to get from your podcast? What is your objective? Why do you want to start a podcast? So again, based on all of that, that's nothing, as you guys will see, nothing is a guesswork. Everything flows streamlined from the first day. But to answer your question in a short way, absolutely, it can be a mix. A great mix that I've seen from other successful podcasters. Let's say you go all in, Janine, and you do one podcast episode a day, Monday to Friday, so 5 podcasts a week. You can do one where it's you sharing your knowledge, providing tips. One episode with you interviewing an expert. And 3 episodes would be you interviewing prospects. So 1-1-3 as a ratio. Or it can be any ratio. It's your call. Does that make sense? Does it answer your question? All right, cool, awesome. Now, Vicky, looking at this 4-prong approach, which one would you say applies the most to you as far as identifying your zone of genius?
I would say that it's my professional experiences and background.
Tell us a little bit about your background for those of us who don't know you.
My background, I was an accountant for 15 years, who then went on to run multiple very, very successful businesses, and then later went on to lose absolutely everything in 2008 and had to rebuild from nothing. So that's my background. Immediately after that happened, it was a shameful thing because obviously my background being in financial services, I seen that initially as a shameful thing, but it's actually been the foundation for me to help thousands of other people to overcome their money hang-ups and things that are holding them back, and things that they probably aren't noticing, like I didn't, that they're habitually doing with their money, which is keeping them small.
Love that. Okay. So yes, for you, your background is a no-brainer.
It is, yeah.
We need to figure out something that's gonna excite you, that's gonna make you get out of bed in the morning with zest, with passion, something that you can really do that's gonna be not only impactful, but also very profitable for you. So for you, okay, we're gonna go to that in the next slide, but I'm just going a bit fast. Who do you think is gonna be your ideal avatar? Very specifically.
Predominantly, it's women, and without sounding like a raging feminist, we have been conditioned in many ways to want to be successful but not want it too badly, to expect to be supported by other people. I do run a course which is very successful, which I love and which I'm really excited by. Sorry, I'm struggling to sound excited about anything with this going on at the moment. But and it would be almost transferring that information about how you can. I want everybody to have financial freedom. I want everybody to have enough to be able to make the money they want and desire and deserve. I don't want anybody believing that they can't have true financial freedom. And that doesn't necessarily mean everybody being millionaires. It's going to be different to everybody. But so many women, certainly, in the work that I've done, don't believe that that's possible for them.
Beautiful, beautiful. Love that. So for you, a podcast where it could make sense would be to identify the women that would be ideal client, ideal avatar, and simply invite them onto your podcast And that's something we're going to explore further deeper today and tomorrow and the rest of the week. But that's a very high level overview of how you can implement podcasting in a profitable way for your business. Because you already have, I believe, from what I understand, already a pretty decent sized audience.
I do.
On two platforms, on LinkedIn and on Facebook. So you're literally sitting on, I wouldn't say gold mine, but a diamond mine. It's a matter of tweaking, because diamonds are a girl's best friend, and gold for the man, right, Mal?
100%. Yeah.
Well, I love diamonds too, So yeah, beautiful. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Very welcome. The point of this here is to get your creative juices flowing, and also to listen to others' stories to further see how you can relate, resonate, learn, and if there's potential for you guys to, who knows, collaborate, partner. This is the ultimate. All right, let's move on. Also, another way to identify a zone of genius would be, is there anything that you're known for in your circle, in your area? Or whenever a topic comes in, oh, go to Vicky, go to Caddy, go to Ma. For example, me growing up, I used to be known as Mr. Brazil. I used to be obsessed with Brazil. So anytime has any question about Brazil, they would come to me. And of course, that's something that it's not very monetizable, because Google and YouTube solves all of that. But back then, I was that guy. So look into your life, is there anything that you love geeking out, a hobby or anything? That's an amazing place to start. And do not discard anything. Because again, a lot of times, all of us, we underestimate, undervalue what comes naturally to us, what is second nature to us, because hey, it's nothing special for us. But for someone else, wow, that is a special skill. So take nothing for granted. And I want you guys, after this call on your own time, take a piece of paper and really brainstorm and see and write down anything that comes to mind. And again, do not discard anything. And I invite you to share that either in the chat or especially not in chat, in the Facebook group later today. And for you, Mal, you can share it to me on WhatsApp. Anything that comes to mind that you love geeking out, a hobby, or anything that you're really known among your friends and family. Does anyone have anything that they want to share right now about that quickly in 1 or 2 sentences?
Yes, I love near-death experiences.
Me
aliens,
too.
Fairies, glitches in the Matrix, just reality just being distorted and people just being transformed by it.
Awesome. Love that. I'm obsessed by that too. That's what started my own awakening journey. Awesome. Cool. Let's move on. Anyone else wants to say anything about that before we move on? All right, let's move on. Here's one of my favorite saying. Your crap is your gold. Or as some people may say, your mess is your message. Because whatever challenges that you've overcome, that's a gift. That's a blessing in disguise. Because again, we all go through a fair share of pain, trauma, tragedy, betrayal, and all that, struggles. Yes, it's very painful when we go to them. But then they become our story. Our story becomes our gifts. Our gifts become then our duty and responsibility. Remember what I said earlier? Whatever life-altering challenge that you've overcome yourself successfully, other people are going through right now, and they're desperately looking for someone, a big brother, a big sister, to say, hey, hold my hand. I will help you. I've been there. I've made it. So can you. Because again, when someone is looking for a coach, they're looking for someone who's 1, 2, 3, at most 4 steps ahead of them, someone that they can relate to, resonate with, identify with, and most importantly, someone that is accessible and reachable. So again, do not discard anything. One of the exercises I do with my students in the academy, we go way deeper, is take a piece of paper, is to map out your life. Look at all the painful challenges of your life. Write them down. I mean, I don't ask you to write it, an essay, but just one keyword for each chapter or two keywords. And at the bottom, ask yourself these two powerful questions. What is this trying to teach me? What is the lesson for me to learn to that? And once you've completed this sheet, stare at it and see which one speaks the loudest and the most visceral way, which one is the most painful, which one evokes the most intense emotions. And guess what? That is a fantastic place to start as far as your zone of genius. Does that make sense? So do that exercise. Take a piece of paper on your time. Map out your life, the various chapters, especially the painful ones. Just one or two keywords. Take a piece of paper, make columns, one or two keywords per chapter, and at the bottom, the answer to this question. What is this trying to teach me? What is the lesson for me to learn to that? For example, when I was at my lowest 4 years ago, financially completely broke, sleeping on a couch, surviving on $20 a week in Hong Kong, the lesson for me to learn was that I don't need money to be happy, because while I was at my lowest financially, it was some of the happiest moments of my life. How is that possible? It doesn't compute. So the lesson for me to learn was, it's not money that's going to make you happy. True happiness comes from within. Sure, we all need money. But when you're in that state, it allows you to become more resourceful, more creative. So that's a blessing. So again, look at all the painful, challenging chapters of your life and ask yourself, what was that trying to teach me? What is the lesson for me to learn to that? And then once you've completed this piece of paper, whatever, look at it, stare at it, and see which one evokes the strongest emotions. And that is your answer. That is your zone of genius. Does it make sense?
Yes.
All right, cool.
Yes.
Once we've identified your zone of genius, the next step is, and it's going to be a logical progression, is to identify your ideal listener and prospect. Because again, what is the number one pain point you're solving and for who? The pain point you're solving is going to be based around your zone of genius. And then for who? That's why I asked you, what's your avatar? What's the person you can help? There's absolutely no guesswork involved. It's all very logical. It flows streamlined in a very natural way. So I really want you guys to do this exercise very seriously, especially from the last two slides. This slide, I'm going to send you the slides after this call, as well as the replay. This slide, and this slide, because this is going to be the foundation of not just your podcast, but your business. So your avatar ideally is someone who resembles you as much as possible, who can identify with you, who can relate with you, resonates with you, who even resembles you. And ultimately, your ultimate avatar is nothing else than yourself when you were starting a few steps ago. Build your business, build your podcast the way you wished existed when you were starting your journey, when you were struggling. Build it for that person, for you. Once you do that, the people that are at stage, they will resonate with you, they can relate with you, can identify with you in a very magnetic and magical way. Does that make sense? So this is very key, guys. Be very specific. Clarity and being specific is the name of the game. The more specific you are, the more clarity you have, the more magnetic your message will be. And when your message is magnetic, the more profitable and impactful your business and your podcast is going to be. This is what it boils down to. All right. I just mentioned that. Ultimately, your avatar is you when you were starting on your journey. Build your offer, craft your messaging, your business, and your podcast the way you wished existed when you were starting. For example, we've all been in programs and classes. After paying a bunch of money, you find yourself with an welcome email saying, welcome, here's your videos. You have 55 videos each, 2 hours, and good luck. And when you get on calls, you have 55 people, 200 people, and it's next impossible for you to get a word in. Good luck getting in touch with the instructors and all that. Nobody wants that. So this is why I've built everything I do the exact opposite of what I've been to. My program is very small, short classes, so I can spend as much time with each of you guys to ensure that everybody gets the questions answered, to get to know them, so I can help them at the highest level. Whether it's my paid program or my free 5-day challenge, they all build the same way. I keep them small on purpose because I want to make sure everybody that gets in succeed. I have 100% success rate. I want to keep that. Everybody cool with that? Cool. All right, let's get going. So again, that's something I've been saying all along. What is the person that you can help at the highest level with one very specific pain point? Don't try to help them with everything. Laser in on one pain point, and once you've helped them with that one pain point, guess what? Pain point number 2, number 3, number 4 can be beautiful upsells. Because once you've helped them successfully with one pain point, they will be much more likely to pay you again to help them for pain point number 2, because not only you've got their trust, they've seen you in action. They've seen you that, hey, this guy or this girl actually gets things done. So again, and to determine what is the number 1 pain point or avatar, again, it all goes back to your zone of genius. Whether it's your special skill, a challenge you've overcome, or you're going through, or any natural talent you may have, or your background. Because again, we want to help the person who's going through what we successfully overcome not long ago. Because again, the people that are looking for coaches are looking for someone that's 1, 2, 3, at most 4 steps ahead of them. And the more specific that person or that pain point is, the more magnetic your message will be, and the more successful, profitable, impactful your business, your podcast will be. So now that we've done that, let's brainstorm as to what your podcast is going to be. So we've identified, at least I've provided you with a framework, and you may need to do some further soul searching and brainstorming on your own to really get to the bottom of it. But this is the framework. This is foundation. This is how you do it. It all boils down to this. Identify your zone of genius. Once you've done that, it's going to become evident for you what's going to be the pain point, specific pain point you're going to solve, then for who, and then where is that person hanging out? Very straightforward, 4 steps approach. And again, the more specific, the more magnetic your message will be. And the more magnetic, the more profitable and impactful it's going to be. Does that make sense? Oops. Here are some powerful reminders. Don't make your business transactional. Make it transformational, meaning it's not about your time. There's always a ceiling you can charge, how much you can charge. It's not about your knowledge, because knowledge can be obtained pretty much for free nowadays with Google, with YouTube, with ChatGPT, and so on and so forth. And instead, make it transformational. The bigger the transformation, meaning the more painful the pain point you're solving, the more you can charge, and the more people will be gladly willing to pay. Next one, business, especially high-tech and selling, is about one thing and one thing only: trust. And this is why podcasting is absolutely fantastic, because especially if you use it the way I've been sharing with you guys on the podcast, you never sell, you don't pitch or try to convince. All you're doing is having heart-to-heart conversations so that you can get to know the person you're talking to, and for them to get to know you in order to establish rapport and ultimately build trust. Once you have that trust, then it becomes a natural, progressive, organic progression to do business with them. And as I mentioned many times, people want to work with someone who's just a few steps ahead of them, not a disconnected billionaire. People want to work with someone who's accessible, reachable, and relatable. Does it make sense, guys? These are very powerful principles that I'm sure you guys already know because you're all established, successful businessmen and women. All good, Janine? Good. Katie, all good?
I'm not an established, successful business person already.
Not yet. It's a matter of time, not if. Okay. Let me see what else. I have to jump off. Okay, Vicky. Thank you, Vicky. Okay, cool. Let's move forward. This one. I'm going to share it with you guys now. I'm going to fly through this 10 minutes, how to launch your podcast in 3 easy steps. And I'm going to also share this blueprint. This is my personal proven blueprint on launching your podcast in 3 easy steps. I'm going to fly through it. Step 1 is the foundation, which we've been doing all along. Step 2 is going to be the tech and equipment. And step 3 about launching it. So let's go. So here's some of the foundational information that we need to have. And this is something I've been covering since the beginning. Why do you want to start a podcast? What is the message you're trying to convey through your podcast? And then who you're trying to serve at the highest level with what pain point? Who's your ideal listeners? And all that. And then choosing the right name, the right and type of name for your podcast. That's a very key strategic decision. And then the length and format of your podcast. Should it be 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour, or 2 hours? All of that are key strategic decisions. And then getting the high quality guests for your podcast. Again, it all boils down to clarity. What is the pain point you're solving? For who? Where is that person hanging out? And then simply putting yourself on that platform. That's it. Number 2, the tech and equipment. Your environment is very important. You need to be in a place that is quiet, no distractions. Your equipment, microphone, accessories, headset, and so on and so forth. Tech specs, requirements, putting it all together. I'm going to briefly go over that with you guys. I go in much more, I spend an entire week inside the academy going that, but then here I'm going to fly through it. This is the microphone I started with 4 years ago. The Samsung 2QU. Handheld dynamic using microphone. I bought it for 63 US, about 50 pounds, maybe 55 euros on Amazon back in March of 2020. And at the time I was in such a bad position. I didn't have the money. I didn't have a credit card. I asked my sister to buy it for me. Now I've been using since last year. This microphone I bought in an electronics store in Malaysia, in Kuala Lumpur. And today I'm going to receive my new microphone, the Rode, which is a next level professional microphone. It's coming today. I'm super excited. Tomorrow you're going to see me with a much more better sound quality. I'm going to share that with you. It cost me $240, which is about 180 pounds. But again, you don't have to spend that kind of money on a microphone. You can have a very good starting microphone on just $100, either from Amazon or your local electronics store. The one I would recommend to start with is this one, the Samsung 2QU handheld. I bought it for 63 US on Amazon 4 years ago. Now it's probably, because of inflation, maybe $100. That's all. Next, recording a podcast. The first thing that we need to ensure is that all your equipment are properly connected and plugged in. Test always before starting. Ensuring all software and tools are properly connected and working. Test everything before going live with recording. Here's a big one. People ask, should you have a list of questions? My answer is, list of questions, no, but have an outline. Have a framework. Because the last thing you want is your podcast to be seen as an interrogation, question after question. Keep it organic. Hey, what's your story? Who's Janine? Who's Mal? Tell me your story. And then keep it natural. See where the conversation goes, just like in a normal conversation we have all day long with people around us. Sure, I have a structure. What's your story? What's your background? What's your business? What's your impact? And around that framework, everything else is very fluid. That's what I recommend. And speak. Oh, that's a big one. Never speak from a script. Don't even speak from your lips, but speak from the heart. When you speak from the heart, that's where the magic happens. Editing and uploading. That's something that, what's your name? Caddy. That's something that you're gonna enjoy that. So editing the raw file is not complicated, but it does take a short learning curve. But that's something you can all learn fast. YouTube is the biggest university in the world. I was far, far, far from being a techie myself, but I learned everything I needed to learn through YouTube. And the best way to learn on YouTube is don't watch passively, because if you watch a 10-minute video passively and for you to implement, it's going to take you 2 hours. You're going to be lost, overwhelmed. Instead, watch, pause, do, resume. This way, a 10-minute video, you will go through it and implement everything within 15 to 20 minutes. Much faster if you were to watch passively. So depending what kind of system you're using, whether it's Mac, if you have Mac, you can use GarageBand or Audacity, both of which are free. If you have Windows, you can use Audacity as well. But what I've been using on my Mac, I'm a Mac guy. I've been using iMovie, and I barely do any editing on over 4 years, almost 400 episodes of my podcast. I can count now on 2 hands the number of times I've had to do editing. I keep it as raw, as authentic as possible. I only do editing if the person asks me, can you please remove that? That's the only time I do editing. Some of the things that you can do to make your podcast, your episode more professional. You can add show notes, episode summaries, timestamps, transcriptions, and contact info for the guests for each episode, and all that. Again, editing is not hard. Yes, there is some learning curve. Spend an afternoon or 2 hours on YouTube to learn, and it's not complicated. Or if you're in a position, you can hire freelancers, or if you're going to go completely relieve the stress from you, go hire an agency or maybe someone like Caddy here to do it for you. So I mentioned this. I need to update this number, and I was 360. So I barely do any editing. I keep it as raw as possible. I only do editing when the person asks me, can you please remove that? Hosting your podcast. So you will need a host for your audio podcast, and there's a ton of options out there. The one I've been using is Podbean. Podbean is a free option, but also because my episodes are pretty long, about an hour on average, 45 to 60 minutes, maybe sometime over an hour. I'm using the paid version, which is about, I believe, $15 a month. Other than that, it's pretty affordable, and they offer unlimited storage, and it's very inexpensive. So again, once you've done your podcast, you record it, the audio version, you upload it from your computer to your host, and from your host to all these directories such as iTunes, Spotify, Google, and so on and so forth. You need to apply for those once initially, and once you've applied, and from the dashboard of your platform, of your host, you can spread it to all of the others platforms such as iTunes, Spotify, Google, and so on and so forth. Pretty straightforward. It's not complicated, even though it might seem overwhelming, but it's not. Absolutely not. Step 3 is launching your podcast the right way and start getting leads through it within 30 days of launch, even if you have no audience or without spamming. So that's going to share with you. Before going live, I'd recommend you have at least 10 episodes recorded. That's 2 reasons. One, when you reach out to your audience, to your prospect, the first thing they will do is to check you out. If you have less than 5 or 10 episodes, they will not take you seriously. But if you have 10 or more episodes, yes, they will take you seriously. They want to be on your podcast. They want to listen. And also because when other people are looking to explore and discover new podcasts, they love binge listening or binge watching. So give them an opportunity to binge watch you. And for that, 10 episodes is a good starting point. Start doing a social media campaign to promote your upcoming launch. Going on other podcasts to promote your podcast, your launch. Contact your friend, family, your network, your neighbor, your baker, your barber, your pizza guy, all of them. Let them know about your podcast. I've been at people create t-shirts, hats, or even stickers on the car, but that's a bit extreme. But do whatever you can and you want to promote it. And other actions that I would recommend is having a website. And here's a big one. Start collecting emails to build an email list. You can do cross promotion and joint ventures with other audiences. Here's a big one that most people are sleeping on, and that is press releases. Press releases can be phenomenally powerful. They're not complicated. Some of them are free and some of them are paid, but you can do that. And last but definitely not least, you can go on a podcast tour. Misha, one of the speakers I had on Monday in the US, he offers a service which is going on a podcast tour, going on 50 podcasts in the next 100 days. And not random podcasts, but the ones that where your ideal audience and listeners hang out. So make sure you listen to that video from day one where Misha talks and he blows our mind. And if you want, I can connect you to him as well. He's a good friend of mine. So go on as many podcasts as you can. Targeted podcasts, not random ones, to really get more eyeballs to you. Getting leads and clients to your podcast, even if you have no audience. So within 30 days of launching your podcast and YouTube channel, you can start getting leads. The way I'm going to show you. I'm going to share that with you later on. Especially one approach that's going to get you 30 to 50 leads right away. How would you like to have 30 to 50 leads by tomorrow? How would you like that?
I think like 10-ish would be good. I think 30 to 50 sounds a bit bananas, but
Exactly. That's a point. Yes. But it's possible, even if you have no audience. I'm going to share that with you in a moment, or maybe tomorrow. It's getting pretty long, so I'm going to start wrapping up things here. There's two ways to monetize a podcast or YouTube channel. And by monetizing, I don't mean getting peanuts from YouTube or Google to sponsorships, downloads, and views. I'm talking about high-ticket clients. But the way that most people are doing it is first they build a massive audience and make the money through downloads, views, and sponsorships. That applies only to celebrities, people who have existing massive audiences, or people who are world-class experts. For example, the only exception in here would be Mal, because he's a world-class expert in his field. He can do that. He has that audience. But the rest of us, we may not. Someone that is not an expert, a world-class celebrity, or has a multiple PhDs after their names, it's going to take a long time to build an audience big enough to make money just to cover their bases. So that's the old way. The new way is basically, as I shared with you guys all along, identify your zone of genius, identify what is the pain point you're solving and for who, identify where is that person hanging out, and simply putting yourself on that platform in front of them and simply inviting them. This is how I've been able to, my microphone is playing trick. And that's how I've been able to get 6 clients on my first weekend, 60 clients in 10 months with a YouTube channel of less than 200 subscribers. And now I passed the 100 mark high-ticket clients. Now my channel is a bit bigger, 1,420 subscribers, which is still pretty small. Here's another big one. Never put yourself in a position to ask, beg, or chase. Instead, invite. Let me repeat that. Never put yourself in a position to ask, beg, or chase. Instead, invite. Because when you invite, you turn the tables. You're the one being chosen as opposed to being chased. Again, I've mentioned that many times. Step 1, identify your zone of genius. Number 2, identify who's your exact ideal audience. where they hang out, and simply invite them onto your podcast. That's it. This is what's going to allow you to really get clients ASAP and leads ASAP, even if you have no audience. So now, as we're getting toward the end of today's very long lesson or talk, whatever you want to call it, you have two options. You can either say, oh, this is cool, but it's not for me, and do nothing and keep where you are. Or you can do something and ask yourself a powerful question. Ask, how can I implement that and get my exactly the leads on demand, even if you have no audience to start with, without spamming and no ad spend? And that is by launching your profitable podcast and YouTube channel, where you simply invite your ideal listeners, prospects, and clients. As simple as that. Here's my invitation to you guys. I invite you to book a quick 30-minute call with me to explore how podcasting applies and to your business, how it helps your business. We're going to brainstorm together. If you book a call with me this week or next week, I'd be delighted to brainstorm with you. I will send you guys my Calendly after this call. Well, you can take it from the slides I'm going to share with you later. I'm going to also just message it to you directly. So book a call with me this week or next week, a quick 30-minute chat to explore how we can implement that for you and your business. So that's it. Any questions so far about today? I know it's been a long one. Mal, questions?
No. I'll go through
Not for
everything
me.
and let's start. Yeah.
Good. Gifty, you just researched.
Nothing from me,
Okay,
but to practice.
absolutely, and implement it. Caddy, any questions?
Not off the top of my head.
Awesome. Janine, any questions? Okay, anyone else? So here's a sneak peek about tomorrow. Tomorrow
Can
we're
I
gonna
ask you?
Yeah, go
Can I
ahead.
ask you a question?
Sure.
In my YouTube channel, I already have got a space for podcast. Can I use that space platform in
What
the
do you
YouTube
mean
channel?
space? Yes. What do you mean?
Yeah, in my YouTube channel, there's a thing called podcast, so I could put all
Yes,
my podcasts there.
Oh yeah.
absolutely.
Right.
Yes, you can
Okay.
do that. You can take the audio, you can put it there. Yeah.
I put my podcast on
Audio and
YouTube.
video.
Yes.
Can I do audio and video both?
Yes, absolutely. This is what
Yeah.
I've been doing.
Okay.
Thank you. And I'm
Okay.
glad that we have a techie among us. Caddy, I think me and you, we're gonna do some good stuff together.
You have to do some training. Because
Yes.
yesterday I was going through different ones. There were a lot came up as Riverside. All those confuse me. I just don't understand everyone. So I need one-to-one, but we'll work on
Yes.
that.
We'll get to that, Gifty. We have a call on Monday, so we'll cover as much of that as possible. All right, here's a sneak peek about tomorrow. Tomorrow we're gonna take your zone of genius. I really seriously, guys, take this seriously. Do the brainstorming to really identify your zone of genius, because tomorrow we're gonna take your zone of genius and we're gonna craft your Godfather irresistible offer. So we're gonna be building your laser focused Godfather offer. It's gonna be based around your number one pain point. And we're gonna build your offer, your business, your podcast around that. And we're gonna also identify, here's a very powerful principle of business, and that is the QMER, quantifiable, measurable, end result. I'm gonna go over that tomorrow. That is very powerful. That little thing alone that changed my business. I'm gonna share that with you guys. And I asked my coach to come and do a talk, but he's not available. Instead, I will share the video of his talk he did for the previous class. And this guy is really good. He's a high 7-8 figure coach, a pastor, selling without being salesy and sleazy, and is a killer when it comes to building offers. I'm going to share the video of his last talk from the last class here with you guys tomorrow. So that's a plan. That's a menu for tomorrow. Let me stop sharing. Any questions before we call it a day?
I just have just a little bit of feedback.
Sure.
That was a huge amount of information
I know.
today to
Yeah.
fit into such a short time.
Yeah.
And I think it really should be in 2 sessions.
I know.
Or the first bit, you could probably join on with yesterday's session, which was a lot lighter in
Okay.
things. Just a bit of feedback, but
That's invaluable.
like,
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah,
you
yes.
raced through all that information. That was the information I really wanted, and like how to set it up and the
Yes,
what to
yes, yes.
use and everything else. I'm like, and each time I tried to write something down, I know you're giving me the slides, but I'm like, I want to write this down, and it
Yeah.
was gone. So
I completely understand it. And you're not the first person to tell me. So maybe I need to do something about it. I will do something about it.
yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Anyone
Okay.
else? Any question? Any feedback? Any compliments?
Your hair is looking really good today.
I was about to say that, but you read my mind. Any compliment about my hair? I know.
Almost as good as Mal's.
I know. No, Mal is untouchable, unbeatable. Must be that mustache. Should I grow a mustache, guys? Huh?
That may help.
Mal, you
Change
could do
your
it.
image.
What is it?
Change
A
your
TED Talk
image.
or a masterclass on how a mustache has helped you.
Oh, shameless plug here. I
Yes.
actually have a series of videos on one of my YouTube channels that's about things you need to start a podcast.
Okay.
So I can send that to you, Janine.
Thank
Yes,
you.
please.
And me, send it on the chat. Then we
Yes, share
get
it on
Yeah,
the
the
chat.
I
yeah,
will
send
do
it
that.
to me as well. Yeah. Send it to me as well. Yeah.
all of us on
We
the
all want it.
Facebook.
We all want it.
Yay!
Yay.
You know
I
what I would
don't
like
have
to do, guys,
Facebook.
if
I
you
only
guys are
have
open to
WhatsApp.
it? I could create a WhatsApp group for all of us.
That'd
Please,
be
yeah,
great.
yeah, that would be good.
I've got loads already. So
So send me, I already have Gifty and Mal on WhatsApp. So Janine and Carrie, send me your WhatsApp either here on Messenger and I'll create that today.
I'm hardly ever on WhatsApp. I forget that I even have it.
yeah, me too. But I don't cost too many.
Ah, sorry.
But I'll check.
I mean, if you guys want that, that's one extra step I want to do to make it as easy for you guys and to help you guys.
But I thought we are on the Facebook, isn't it?
Yes,
That is
Facebook,
easy.
but
That's okay for me.
okay, then that's fine. Okay. But there's Mal, for example, is not on Facebook.
Oh, I see.
I
Okay.
don't use any social
But
media at
It's too
all.
good for social media, you know. He's his own social media.
you got your website and YouTube, so you are on social
So
media.
there's one of the videos
That's all I have.
that's
Save the chat, guys. Save the chat.
or just click on the video and then it just opens up in a window.
Exactly. Let's do that. I'll do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Congratulations. You got 1 new subscriber.
Ooh, ooh.
Soon, I'm going to subscribe with both of my accounts, my personal and my business. So
Yeah, that was a passion project that I've learned so much vlogging and podcasting that I was like, I'm excited to teach and bring it out. But I haven't been doing as many of those kind of videos. It's been the podcast of
yeah.
talking one-on-one with people on that channel more.
And I'm sharing here, guys, my Calendly.
Oh, yes.
Book a time with me. Not today, this afternoon. I'm going to be busy with family. But tomorrow, Friday, or next week, book a time with me. We can brainstorm together and see how we can implement podcasting for your business. I already have a call with you, Gifty, on Monday. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, cool. I gotta go.
All right, guys. Have a great day.
tomorrow.
Fantabulous day. See you guys tomorrow for day 4. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay.
Take care.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Bye.
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 Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.